Come in.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ramirez. I have been told that you are the best jailhouse lawyer in the country and came to you for guidance on certain topics.
Absolutely.
Take a seat.
You came to the right place, but I must say I'm pretty expensive.
What's your price range?
Well, I don't think you can afford me, lady.
Well, how about a Sprite Zero, some Doritos, and some Oreos?
That'll do. How can I help you today, Miss Lady Boss Man?
I'm a caseworker assigned to 4 new inmates that were just convicted for a money heist conspiracy, and they are brand new to prison. They have some questions about the prison system, and hopefully you can answer them.
What do you got?
First, I have Miss Autumn Jarman, and she would like to know about mental health services in prison. First, I have Ms. Autumn Jarman, and she would like to know about mental health services in the prison system. Can you tell me?
Mental health inside corrections and prisons. Well, some facts about mental health. About 2 in 5 people who are currently incarcerated have a history of mental health illness. Nearly 2/3 of people with mental health illness in jails or prisons do not receive mental health treatment. In some cases, some prisons have limited resources to treat mentally ill offenders. Some concerns are treated mental ill offenders are more likely to harm themselves and attack other offenders or staff. Suicides in state and federal prisons are more likely to occur. The first year of imprisonment, lack of medication and resources is also a concern, and the attack on staff due to mental health and offenders is also a real thing. Every state has different facilities and programs to deal or manage offenders with mentally ill disabilities. However, some are limited and they do not have the same resources as other states. There are some treatment or resources such as the Blue Bonnet Trail, the Central Texas Treatment Center, and the SMART program. So that's it on mental health and prison. That's all I can tell you about that. What else you got?
Next, I have Carolina Verástegui, who has concerns about substance abuse, GED programs, and job training. Next, I have Carolina Verástegui, who has concerns about substance abuse, GED programs, and job training. What can you tell me?
Drugs, school, and work. Interesting. Well, many prisons face funding constraints and limited resources, which can lead to wait lists for programs such as substance abuse treatment. However, research has shown that providing access to these programs can significantly reduce recidivism rates. In fact, a study by the National Institute of Justice found that prisoners who participated in substance abuse treatment had 15% lower recidivism rates than those who did not. Education is crucial for rehabilitation. Unfortunately, some prisons have limited resources and strictly eligibility requirements for programs like GED program. However, research has shown that providing access to education can significantly reduce recidivism rates. In fact, a study shows that the Rand Corporation found that prisoners who participated in education programs had a 43% lower recidivism rate than those who did not. And some prisons also face constraints and have limited resources on the availability for job training programs. But, you know, we do what we can, and when the programs do become available, a lot of us do take advantage of it.
Great, thank you. Next, I have Rihanna Hart, who has concerns about contraband in prison. Next, I have Rihanna Hart, who has concerns about contraband in prison.
Contraband in prison? You mean like a little pocket knife like this? Or a cell phone?
That's exactly what I'm talking about, yes.
Contraband in prison, yes, it's a thing. Contraband in prison can range from weapons, such as firearms or shanks, to nonviolent items such as cell phones, drugs, tobacco, tools for escape, or alcohol. Of course, we use weapons for self-defense, attacks on other inmates or guards, asserting dominance, generating income, trading influence, and even escape attempts. Inmates hide weapons in places like hollowed out books, artificial limbs, toiletry containers, in the lining of clothing, and body cavities. Yes, that's the thing. Contraband can enter the prison by being smuggled in by visitors, staff, through the mail, and packages, thrown over the fences, hidden in food or other deliveries, or even sometimes drones. That's the thing now, believe it or not, in this league boss. Correctional employees, unfortunately, also engage in misconduct of bringing in stuff they're not supposed to, manipulation. They're subject to manipulation by the inmates. Of course, workplace stress, mental health, lack of accountability. They, of course, lack adequate training and supervision because we're able to do all this stuff behind their backs. And organizational culture. What else you got?
Great, thank you. Next, I have Jalesia Wilkins, who has questions about parole. Next, I have Jalesia Wilkins, who has questions about parole.
Wait a minute. She just started, she wants to leave already? That's funny. But yeah, there's several criteria that is taken into consideration for parole. Of course, criminal history is one of them. The nature of the offense, I mean, she didn't kill anyone. She just took a little bit of money. Drug history, she smoking some of that good stuff. Adjustment in jail, she getting any shots while she was in jail? That counts. Adjustment while on previous supervision. How did she do while she was on paper? Did she get a time served case? Did she get any felony offenses while she was in custody? Is she affiliated to any gangs? I mean, you know, there's prison gangs too, so. You know, just tell your girl to stay out of trouble and she'll be okay in about 10 years.
Great, thank you so much. Next, we have you, Mr. Vicente Ramirez, on what advice you can give us about the prison system. Next, we have Mr. Vicente Ramirez on what advice he can give us about the prison system.
Well, like I talked about earlier, you know, there are some programs afforded in prison in preparation for your release. I mean, you're not going to be here forever. Well, some people are, but some of us that are only here doing 25 years, you know, we'll eventually get out. So while you're here, you know, there's literacy programs that allow inmates to, you know, without a high school diploma, to earn a GED certificate. Under the provisions of the Prison Litigation Reform Act of 1995, inmates lacking high school credentials must participate in satisfactory progress in GED programs in order to earn the maximum amount of good time credit, which may reduce the sentence length. Inmates are to learn job skills in institutional job assignments, such as food service worker, orderly, plumber, painter, warehouse worker, groundskeeper. Also, some inmates work in federal prison industries and corporations, factories that produce, for example, metal products, furniture, electronics, or textiles. Some of these programs offer virtual job fairs, opportunity to review identified candidates for pre-release, coordinated pre-release interviews, face-to-face, phone, video. You know, nowadays there's a lot of opportunities for convicted felons. And some of the best things that you can take advantage of while you're in prison is do some sort of occupational or vocational training, which is offered and they do provide up to 86 different skill areas. And inmates are provided opportunities to develop work skills by on-the-job training through institutional work assignments and other prison industry jobs. Some of the trainings that are provided, just to name a few, and are in the fields of biotech, HVAC, industrial maintenance, green and solar technology, and oil and gas technology. So yes, there's a lot that you can do while you're in prison.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, sir. I really appreciate all your guidance on the prison system. Have yourself a great day.
Hey, not so fast, slave boss.
Yes?
You're forgetting something. My munchies.
A deal's a deal.
Thank you so much.